The morning sun barely crept over the horizon at Naval Station Great Lakes when Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chan stepped onto the training grounds, dressed in civilian clothes, her duffel bag slung over one shoulder. She wasn't supposed to be here. This was her day off. But when Admiral Rodriguez called asking for a favor, you didn't say no. He needed someone to observe the new cadet training program, someone with real combat experience. Sarah had just returned from 3 tours overseas, a Navy SEAL with more confirmed operations than most of these kids had video games. But looking at her 5'4" frame and quiet demeanor, you'd never know she'd spent the last 8 years becoming one of the most lethal operatives in the Pacific Fleet. She was early. The cadets weren't supposed to arrive for another 20 minutes. Sarah found a bench near the obstacle course and sat down, pulling out her phone to check messages. That's when she heard them. Boots, heavy, arrogant, pounding against the concrete. For senior cadets, led by a towering guy named Decker, all swagger and testosterone, marched toward her like they owned the place. Decker was known around the base, not for his skills but for his attitude. He'd washed out of SEAL training twice but still acted like he was God's gift to the Navy. Joe, lost, Btch. Decker's voice cut through the morning air like a rusty blade. His buddies laughed, that cruel pack mentality that turns cowards into bullies. Sarah looked up slowly, her expression unreadable. You're in a restricted training area, sweetheart. Civilian tours are on Thursdays. More laughter. Sarah stood up, calm, collected, her movements fluid. I'm exactly where I need to be, she said, her voice steady as steel. Decker stepped closer, invading her space. Oh, we got a tough girl here. Listen, princess, I don't know how you got past security, but you need to leave before you get hurt. This is a military installation, not a shopping mall. Sarah tilted her head slightly, a ghost of a smile playing at her lips. Is that right? Decker reached out to grab her arm, to physically remove her. Big mistake. In one explosive motion, Sarah's hand shot up, deflecting his grasp, her other hand driving into his solar plexus with controlled precision. Decker's eyes went wide as the air rushed from his lungs. Before his friends could react, Sarah had already pivoted, sweeping Decker's legs out from under him. The 6'3" cadet hit the ground hard, his ego shattering even louder than his body. The other 3 cadets rushed in, thinking they could overwhelm her with numbers. Wrong again. Sarah moved like water, like lightning, like something these boys had only seen in movies. A palm strike to the chest, an elbow to the ribs, a perfectly executed hip throw that sent the second attacker tumbling into the third. Within 15 seconds, all 4 cadets were on the ground, groaning, confused, their entire worldview crumbling around them. Sarah stood over them, not even breathing hard. You done? She asked quietly. That's when Admiral Rodriguez appeared, arms crossed, watching from 50 yards away. He'd seen everything. Gentlemen! His voice boomed across the training ground. The cadets scrambled to their feet, terror replacing arrogance. I'd like you to meet Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chan, Navy SEAL, recipient of 2 Bronze Stars and a Silver Star for Valor. She's here to evaluate your training program. Commander Chan, how would you rate these cadets so far? Sarah looked at the 4 young men, seeing not just bullies but boys who needed to learn what real strength meant. Potential, sir. But they've got a long way to go. The Admiral nodded. Commander Chan will be leading your advanced combat training for the next 8 weeks. I suggest you pay attention. She's forgotten more about warfare than you'll ever know. Decker's face went pale. Sir, we didn't what, cadet? Didn't assault a superior officer? Didn't make assumptions based on gender and appearance? Didn't fail to show the respect this uniform demands? Silence. Heavy and absolute. Sarah picked up her duffel bag, slung it over her shoulder, and looked at each of them in turn. 0600 tomorrow morning. Full gear. We're going to learn what it really means to be a warrior. And trust me, gentlemen, you're going to wish you'd been nicer to that lost Btch you just met. She walked past them toward the training facility, leaving 4 humbled cadets to contemplate the most important lesson they'd ever learn. Never judge a warrior by their cover. Because sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is the one you never see coming.